Hey YouTube, Mike the Gambling Guy here, and today I'm going to bring you the derived roads. Alright, and we're going to show you how to figure out the derived roads in the game of Baccarat. So it's not necessarily how to play Baccarat, it's how to read the derived roads. So in case you ever saw all those little circles and dots and slashes and you're like, what's that? How do I figure that out? Right? You can actually figure that out on your own if you don't have a cheat sheet on the site that you're using. All right, so if you're sitting at a casino, you'll also be able to get used to looking at how things are coming out to know what you would expect to see in the derived roads, because I play within the energy of the game. And if you're looking for a deal on the site that I use, which is BaccaratWinPro.com, send me an email, MikeTheGamblingGuy@gmail.com, where if you go to the site directly, they're going to give you 1 week free trial of the site. If you shoot me an email, I'll shoot you an email back with a special code that's going to allow you to have a month free of using the site. So not a bad deal, right? So take advantage of that. Shoot me an email, MikeTheGamblingGuy@gmail.com, and I'll send you your own personalized code that's going to give you a 30-day free trial of this site. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this site, all for simulation, right? So first of all, we're going to get into the derived roads. So in order to have the derived roads, we need to deal a few hands. So we're going to have this hand be dealt. And actually, I'm going to put the speed up to fast here, because it doesn't really matter how slow the cards come out. We need the results. So we can see on the big road, it's showing us that, of course, a banker had hit. And on the B plate road, we can see that we had a tie, and then we had a banker come out. These are just going to show us our results. So remember, the big road and the B plate road, anything that's red is a banker, and anything that's blue is a player. Green, of course, is a tie. All right, so what we're going to be talking about is the big-eyed boy road, the small road, and the cockroach pig road, right? I didn't name them. For whatever reason, that's what they're called. But we have to have enough results before this starts working. They're all very similar in how you would come up and figure out what the next one's going to be, right? But we have to get enough hands, and that's because it takes us enough columns, not necessarily just enough hands, but we have to have enough columns that it's going back and forth. So we can see now that we have two things on the big road, that means next time we are going to have results. So look at my cheat sheet. So we do have a cheat sheet down here saying that if the next hand comes up a banker, it's going to be coming up a red ring on the big-eyed boy road. There's still nothing yet on the small road or the cockroach pig road. So the way that you read the derived roads is you come down from the last result. You're going to pretend there's a space here. Right? This is where, if it came down into player, this is where the next space would be. You're going to move one to the left for the big-eyed boy road. One to the left. And you're going to say, okay, from this space, is this space going to be the same as what's above it? So are there matching things there? In this case, would there be two red marks there, or in this case, no, there's not. So that we know. That way we know if it comes up to be a player, we're going to expect this to be a blue result, and that's because it's going to be chaos. So anytime two things don't match, if we're going back one step for the big-eyed boy road, we're going back 2 steps for the small road, we're going back 3 steps for the cockroach pig road, but they all work the exact same way. It's just looking at a little bit further back in the history. So we go here, and we go over one, and if this is blank and the one above it has something in it, we know that we would expect chaos. Because once we get down into the derived roads, it's not banker player anymore, right? It's chaos and anticipated outcome. So you can see, let's go ahead and we're just going to deal the hand to see which way that comes out. And the hand came out a tie, so it didn't affect the outcome. Oh, we're gonna get a bunch of ties here. So there we've got a player wins. So it came down here and actually gave us the blue result in the big-eyed boy road. Let's go through some more hands so we get some banker winnings here. And now we're going to see we've got 3 results in the big-eyed boy road, because of this next hand, if it would come down here into a banker, we go over 1, these 2 match, so we would expect the banker would give us a red circle here for the Big-Eyed Boy road because that's anticipated outcome. And we can see on our cheat sheet that that is correct. Big-Eyed Boy, if a banker came out again, which would continue that trend, that would give us a red circle there. But on the small road, it would give us a blue, it would give us chaos. All right, that's because if we went over 2, so 1, 2, this spot that we're in and the one above it do not match. So that's chaos. So we would know if it came banker going over 2, that would be chaos. So let's see what happens here. Do we get chaos or do we get anticipated outcome? So there we got anticipated outcome for the Big-Eyed Boy road, right? That was in red. And in the small road, we have chaos. So that's how you read that. Now we're going to continue to go till we get to the Cockroach Pig road, but looking at how do we possibly use that to make a bet, right? So if we're looking at the true trend here, you can see that this down here is in a chop. So we would expect that the next one for the Big-Eyed Boy road would also be blue, would be chaos, right? So looking at that, we would look over here and go, okay, if I want the Big-Eyed Boy road to be blue, that means my next bet would have to be on player. But looking at the true trend, right now we are in a trend, meaning that this has gone 3 times in a row. I'm expecting this to be a banker, so I'm not necessarily going to be bet that this is going to be a player, because that would be contradicting the true trend from two different ways of looking at it. The big road, one way that I look at it, and then I confirm that with the Big-Eyed Boy road, the small road, or the Cockroach Pig road. I look at all of those and go, does this bet make sense? Right before I'm going to go in. But here we're just here to talk about how do we read these. So let's click deal hand again, because we're going to need to get over to the player win in order. So it did go banker. That's what I was anticipating. It was actually going to go banker on the true trend over here. So let's see if it didn't get some resistance. And it's not now going to be a player. But if a player here would actually give us a red circle on the Big-Eyed Boy road. And it was a player. So now we can see, now that our Cockroach Pig road is saying, okay, on the next hand, because now we have enough columns that we can come down 1 and we can go over 3. 1 for the Big-Eyed Boy, 2 for the small road, and the third one for the Cockroach Pig road. And they all work exactly the same. So from this spot, the next one down from our last result, I mean, even if the last result was this one under the banker, that was where we're reading the last one to go over 1 or 2 rows. We didn't have 3 rows available yet, but now we do. So now we're under the player. We go over 1. We know that one's going to be red for anticipated outcome. For the Big-Eyed Boy road, the small road, it's also going to be red for anticipated outcome. Now we go all the way over here for the Piggly Wiggly, right? The Cockroach Pig road, and these two don't match. So that's going to mean that's going to be chaos. So that would be a blue. And that's why you see if this comes up a player, the next one in this row would have showed us red, red, blue. So that's how you read the Cockroach Pig road. Now let's go ahead and see if we get what the next hand is. Of course, it's another tie. And now we had a player win. So the true trend is actually continuing because we had 3. Another 3. And then this one at least paired. So we got our win. We'd be sitting out at least this next one, if not the next 2, because this hasn't gone higher than 3. So why would I keep pushing that? But now you can see that this trend, true trend, is actually showing that it's going further than 3. So it's gone to 4. So we'd be looking to see if we would get our next blue one here would be a red ring. Yes, it would, according to our cheat sheet. Big-Eyed Boys is going to be in red. Or if you want to read that, go over here to Big-Eyed Boy. We know these two match. So that would also be a red, right? Another way to read that. Let's go over 2. These would also be in red for the small road. That actually would give us a second dot here. It's not necessarily what I'm looking for, but that's okay. Cockroach Pig road, we don't have enough information to see if this is going on a chop or if it's in a trend. So I'd actually be betting on player here. So let's see. It's 9-9 tie. Right? 9-9 is getting the hard way. 8-1 and 4-5. So that really wanted to come up a tie. And the banker had 1 there. So it's actually coming up over here. Luckily that was our pass hand since I waited after we put real money in there. So now my next one I'll be looking for a banker. But you can see the small road continues to be on the chop. Now we would expect a blue for the Big-Eyed Boy Road, and we could expect a blue on the Cockroach Pig Road. So let's look and see if we're looking for a banker. This is really what we're looking for. And looking for a red on the Big-Eyed Boy Road. I don't have that. And this is just going by the true trend, how I play. We do have a red on the small road, which just continues that chop. So that would really just give us a 50% bet. I mean, do you feel good about a 50% betting outcome? Let's see if we would have won this one. Nope. So that's where I like 75%, 100% of these all showing up saying, yeah, this looks like it's the way that it's pointing, and then go ahead and use your money management on how you need to do it. But that's how you read the derived roads, right? So it's either you drop down from the last one on the big road. Bead plate road doesn't matter when you're looking at the derived roads. You drop down one, so we know this one's going to be blue, this one's going to be red, and for the Cockroach Pig Road, that would also be red. So to confirm that, luckily we have a cheat sheet here on this site. Again, you can see that it was blue, red, red. All right, so if we were going to say we wanted to go for a blue on the Big-Eyed Boy Road, we wanted to continue to go for a red on the small road, and on the Cockroach Pig Road, blue would really be what we're looking for there. So here I'm actually looking for a red on the big road. So out of those, I have red on the big road. That would have been our bet. This one isn't the way that I expected it to go. This one isn't the way I expected it to go. And this one is, but again, I'd be at a 50-50 bet. So personally, I wouldn't be putting money on this. We'd be sitting and waiting. Player wins, right? Because I would have been betting for the banker, looking for the true trend. Again, I only had a 50% bet. It wasn't good enough for me, but the derived roads were showing me the energy to go, not strong enough that I'd want to go out and make that bet. And with that, that is how you read the derived roads. Again, if you want to try out the simulator, right? Instead of just going to the website and signing up for it with your email address, shoot me an email first so I can send you a specific code for you that you can put into the site when you register in, ask if you have a special code, and that'll give you 30 days to be able to test out the site and go, is it good for me? Do I feel like it's worth it? Because there's a lot more to this site than the Wizard of Odds has available to them. I mean, I've only scratched the surface on my last video when I was showing this site. So give it a try. Mike the Gambling Guy, I'm out.